All right. You got to get it. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, everybody, and welcome to a very strange edition on a Wednesday night. It is our midweek recap, and my husband is sitting in. He wanted to make a dramatic entrance. Okay. All right. So let's bring Mo in. You say hi to the people, Adrian.
Hi, everyone.
All righty. All righty. It's going to be an interesting night tonight. Let's bring Scorpio Mo in the building. And there we go. Scorpio Mo.
Yo.
Ish Cookie, what's going on? Welcome. We want everybody to come in because, as you guys know, we have a great show planned for tonight. Last week we had Vernisha, and I just want to ask you. So, what did you think after? Because that was my second time interviewing Vernisha. Okay. So, what were your thoughts after talking to Vernisha last week and kind of hearing her perspective on everything that's happened this season?
To me, it made a little bit more sense than, from the interview that we had on Wednesday with Mizell. Her story it made a little bit more sense.
Okay. All right. Anybody else agree with that in the chat? I actually did not think their stories were that different. I think there were a couple of, everybody's perspective is a little different, right? I definitely think the biggest issue is I definitely think that he should have just acknowledged that he was attracted to her
right
when he was here. But
right.
I don't think there was that much of a difference between what each of them said, right? Outside of that.
Okay.
Did you watch?
Yes, I watched some of it.
Okay. What did you think of it?
Like you said, everybody has their own perspective of everything. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be different thoughts and processes that's engaged.
Okay.
But my thing is, he had 3 times to come clean and he didn't.
Mo is harder on the guys and easier on the ladies because it was very clear. You are.
No, Mo,
we already had that conversation.
It was a lie. He had a chance to tell her then he got on the show Wednesday and said it, and then he contradicted himself when we actually saw the show. And he cleaned it up. And I'm like, he could have said that Wednesday, right or wrong?
Yeah, he could have cleared it up.
But right. Why is that so? Why is that such a? I think he was trying not to hurt anybody else's feelings by saying, I really was attracted to the other woman. You're being really. I just feel like you're being really hard on Mizell because you're really.
Yeah, I like Mizell. I'm just being fair because I was like, keep it real. And then when we saw the thing, I'm like, dog, you come on, man. That's all.
Again, are you going to admit that you were flirting with Vernisha? Is anybody going to admit?
Listen, I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm glad I brought it up as well.
I'm glad she brought it up too.
Because you're saying that he was wrong for not admitting, but what about you?
Admitting what? Okay, since this series started, you had said Zadia first. Now, because I said I like the dress, how she looked in the dress, it became I like her. Even in the comments, I'm like, what is your
Mo? I have to tell you the truth, and we already had this conversation. It wasn't about you saying anything about the dress. It was how
huh?
Mo, like I'm gonna tell you just what I noticed, right? for me watching. Oh, you was all over that, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because tonight you got glasses on. The other night you ain't had no glasses on. You know what I'm saying? You want her to see all of Scorpio Mo, not just part of Scorpio Mo. You want her to get the full fledged of everything. Come on now. We already had this conversation.
I could have did that in person.
See, so you're saying you're doing the same thing that you're accusing Mizell of doing.
What?
Mizell was not acknowledging that he was attracted to.
No. She's a nice little.
Shayna said she'll check back in later. She said our conversation is lame. She will check back in later when Shareese is on.
Listen,
okay, she's gonna be on. She's getting on in about 10 minutes. Okay.
All I'm saying was how she looked in the dress. That's it, man.
You said it several times though.
No, I said it to you. You brought it to her attention.
No. You mentioned it several times, and then you even said it. You said it on the show, and then you said anyway. It's all good.
There you go.
Stand on business, Mo.
Stand on business,
Mo. Mo, we already had that side conversation. Don't worry about it, bro, man. I got you. I got you back, man. I got you back.
Christal, remixing stuff.
No, but what I will say, I would say Mo likes only if she wants me to. True, but I will say, if, again, I want to remind everybody, if you're in Atlanta, to come out tomorrow night. We're going to have Vernisha and Zadia and Ashley, so we'll be able to see. I will let you guys know what's going on with Mo, and also, if you're watching and you're not here in Atlanta, the show is going to be broadcast live on YouTube, so you can check in with us on YouTube tomorrow at 8 p.m. If you're in Atlanta, be there tomorrow at 7. So we're going to be at ATL in College Park with all the ladies. And that's why I really wanted to have Shareese on tonight, because Shareese is the only woman that won't be there. We'll have Zadia and Vernisha and Ashley, but Shareese had something to do, so she won't be able to make it. We also have Shay, and there'll be some other surprises from some other shows. Also, we have Alexis from Put a Ring on It. She was when she was on Put a Ring on It, she was with the guy from Film Mob. I can't remember his name. What's the dark skinned guy from Film Mob's name?
Oh, don't ask me.
So anyway, I want to remind you guys to tune in tomorrow, and then on Friday, Mo and I will be back to let everybody know what happened on tomorrow night, and we will do our recap. But after hanging out with the ladies, we also Smoke from Film Mob. Thank you. Where's the juice? Yeah, Smoke from Film Mob was with Alexis, and that was a hot mess. So we're going to ask all the ladies what they have going on. We also have Alexis from Houston, Alexis So Fly, and Liz from Houston as well are going to be there. So it's going to be a good time. So I'm sorry, Shayna McD. We are moving through. Our girl is going to be on in just a minute, but I wanted to make sure that we had a chance to talk about that. I do want to ask you, okay, so we have Shareese coming on tonight to talk about her experience up until now. What I wanted to ask you is, what do you think, where do you think we are with the show at this point? Because we know that this has got to be winding down. We know that the ladies, there's been conversations. It looks like the only person that's really been consistent with their significant other is Zadia and Cam. And everybody had a lot of feedback last week. The chat, especially, you guys had a lot of feedback on Cam and Zadia's conversation, because that's the only couple that could possibly be trying to move forward after the end of the season. So kind of looking at everything, Mo, how do you kind of see this playing out? Do you think any of the ladies have connections that will make it past the end of this? We don't even know how this is going to end.
Definitely don't know how it's going to end, but I would say the complete opposite. Zadia doesn't. I think it's a crossroads situation with her and Cam. And Cam just hasn't stepped up to the plate to say what he needs to say. He's kind of open for her to say and trying to spin it, and he just got to say it. Now, I think that's the one that doesn't. The other stuff, because they're putting little spins on things now and bringing people back and causing a little, so we'll see. Actually, Ashley to me has a better shot than everybody else.
Ashley and Donald.
Yeah, Ashley and Donald. Yeah.
Okay. Brenda said that Zadia and Cam had a live the other day, and they have chemistry. Definitely have chemistry. Well, I think we're pretty clear that they have chemistry.
Right.
I think we're just trying to figure out if it's chemistry that could be real. And I also think that, on these shows, everybody wants their time to talk, and that's what's the funniest part about these shows to me, is that everybody wants a lot of them end up doing their own relationship conversations just from being on the show. I did not go easy. The She Shed said Christal went easy on her because she's attending her mixer and Mo finds her attractive. I don't feel like I went easy on Zadia and on Vernisha, and I also don't really feel like Mizell was that big of a lot. I do feel like he was he was not being honest about being attracted, but I don't feel like it was that different. I feel like she told him, if you're attracted to me, instead of doing all this behind the scenes talking, tell the producers you want to date with me. And I feel like he didn't want to go through with that. Keisha and Love shouts everybody out. Thank you guys so much. Guys, I got Gun Boss here with me today as opposed to in the chat. So you have anything to say? What do you think about What do you think about what's going on? Do you think that it's realistic for a woman or a man to relocate for love within 6 weeks?
Well,
I would say 6 weeks. I would say it would have to be a back and forth thing for a minute, you know, because you really gotta know what you're getting yourself into and how deep, you feel for each other, if that makes sense.
Let me tell you guys something. This is what I think. And you and Mo, I'm gonna say this is what I learned today. I was talking to one of my friends, and he said that it was my friend and one of his friends in the car, and the guy said, I feel like a man will do anything for a woman that he's really attracted to. Move, whatever. I think he has to like her that much. Point is, the guy said he was on a dating site and he was matched up with this woman. He thought she was drop dead gorgeous, right? So he goes out. To meet the girl. They had a romantic date plan, one that I would love. They went to the zoo for the first date, which I think is a super romantic date. They go to the zoo. The girl shows up and she's 6 months pregnant. She's 6 months pregnant. And he says, and then, so we're thinking like, you guys remember Ready to Love, Dallas. One of the girls showed up to the show 5 months pregnant. This girl shows up 6 months pregnant, and he said the girl was so fine he wished the baby had been his. He said he was trying to figure out all night, like if he could have figured out how he could make the situation work. The girl said that she just didn't want to stay in and she wanted to get out. I guess her and the baby's father wasn't working. And I was like, you know what? I feel like, and he said that people kept congratulating him. Hey, Colton, people kept congratulating him because, of course, she's 6 months pregnant. You're really, really showing all day. He's there walking around and people are like, congratulations, congratulations. And he was like, thinking to himself, man, I sure do wish I could make it work.
So she never told him that she was pregnant?
She didn't tell him until he got there.
The trick, listen, man.
But are you guys acknowledging that if the girl looked like you wanted her to look?
Listen, no, but see, that's the problem. They're putting it on the pedestal. You earn see, that's what I don't like. No.
You don't like it, Mo?
Not the. I mean, look, you can be attracted to somebody. You can like the way they look, but you can't put it on the pedestal, really. But definitely to the point of you ignoring what's right here.
I think that was an extreme example, but I think that we all make allowances for people that we're very, very attracted to.
But that don't make it right.
It don't make it right, but
I told you earlier, just like I said, when dudes lying to women, I was like, if she likes you enough, she'll lie to herself. You ain't got to lie to her. You know what I'm saying? And that's you're making yourself allowance. You see what I'm saying? It's a thing, but at the same time, man, we got to wake up out of that. Oh my God, she should be arrested.
She should be arrested.
Yo, let me tell you something. So if a guy shows up and he says, you know what, I didn't tell you, but I'm having a baby on the way, and you be like, you should have gave me.
Probably wouldn't want to go out. Keisha in Love says, I have someone in the chat is testifying. She said, my baby sister is so beautiful. When she was 7 months pregnant, we went shopping. We had so many guys asking for her number and saying, I'll take care of the baby.
You know why?
No.
Well, number one, they're going to wait for her to drop that load, and that's what they really want to see. That's number one. And I don't mean to say it so harshly. Number two, I don't know if I could say this on here, but, it can be enjoyable to have sex with a pregnant woman.
That is disgusting.
I'm just saying, I'm saying with your pregnant woman, but I can imagine pregnant, I'm just saying.
So True Love Forever, they didn't talk very long. They just met on a dating site. So it was really quickly that they met up.
But I think me personally, I think it's wrong for her to keep that away from him.
Of course.
Because even though she may have been beautiful and all this and that, I think that he deserved to know that, because all depends on, just
so what would you do when you get there? Because he said the girl was beautiful, but he said he really didn't want to hurt her feelings.
Well, I mean, so he's not going to hurt her feelings, because you got two cases there. You got she's pregnant, and then
she's pretty,
and then another was like,
Don't do that.
I want to say he may have, what's the word I'm looking for? He may have
Simp
just
traits.
tagged along.
Those are simp.
Sympathy, yes.
No, simp traits. Simp.
Oh, hold
Simp.
on. I get something is going on with this. I'm gonna have to. So Shareese is having trouble. Oh my gosh.
I think that setup is different. Remember?
Something is weird with StreamYard, and I'm gonna have to figure this out.
They got to go straight to browse. Don't do the YouTube and Facebook thing. Look up to the point and go to the browse.
Okay, go to browser. Okay.
Yeah, up in the right hand.
So she should copy and paste the link in her browser.
No, once she does the link, then and it comes up and it's gonna say YouTube, Facebook. Just go up to the top in the right hand where those 3 lines are and hit it, and then hit browser.
Okay, not YouTube or Facebook.
Yeah, don't do those.
So Mo, why you got your glasses on tonight?
I'm feeling kind of cool today, man. I had a rough day. Let me tell you something, man. I ain't gonna get into my day, but you know what it is? I'm gonna give you the secret on the glasses, right?
All right, let me know, because I
No. This is real. When I'm speaking, even in person, I look off. So here you can't see, because even when I see it on the playback, I keep wondering what I'm looking at. And I notice when I look off to the side, so this prevents that. And I look cool in them too, by the way.
You know who I told you look like, right?
Yeah. Oh, but I got who you look like. No. This is for real. I meant to tell you this earlier. I'm
trying to get Shareese in, guys. I'm not trying to.
Good. You cut out. Couldn't hear you. Who?
Tony Braxton's ex-husband. One who used to be in that mid condition.
I know. No, he doesn't look like him.
Yeah, come on, a little bit. Carrie something, whatever.
Carrie, yeah, no, he doesn't look like Carrie. Hold on, I'm trying to get Shareese in.
Who looks like more like? Let's ask the group. Who looks like more like somebody? Does Mo look like Ocho Cinco?
He doesn't look like Ocho Cinco.
Or do I look like what's the guy's name?
Haitian said you look like a slimmer DJ Khaled. Well,
oh hell,
that wasn't nice.
That was mean.
Nice, Haitian Empress, and you're funny, but that was not nice.
And another.
All right. We got Shareese here. We were waiting on the girl. Let's bring her in. There we go. Hey, Shareese. Can you hear us? You got to open up.
Hey. Lola, be quiet. Sorry about that. Lola, be quiet. Come, poop.
Lola said, "What's up? What is going on?"
Exactly. Hey, mama. I'm sorry, y'all. That's the only problem. Just let me, Lola, it's cool. Stop it. Relax. Relaha. Because it's quiet in here, so she can hear everything. You know?
So she's like, what's going on? Why is there people talking? What's going on? Oh, what kind of dog is it, Shareese?
Remember she was on the show with Samson. Come on, Lola.
Oh, she sure was. She
was on the first season. Is that your husband? Oh my God. Hey, husband.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Your wife gave me the best advice when I was on Ready to Love and she interviewed me. The one thing I took away from it was not to stop dating. Like, don't just get in a rut and just like be negative, and just learn from it and move on. So thanks for that advice.
Oh, you are welcome. But I had no idea that advice was going to lead you to making a move. We got to see you not stopping dating, but continuing on TV. What made you take this chance to do another journey in front of an audience with dating?
I don't know. I must have lost my mind. You know, I'm just kidding. No, because I just feel like it was important for me to keep going. You know, I just felt like, why not take advantage of another opportunity to like meet some incredible men? You know, it's just like being online dating. You can't give up. you know, somebody's going to introduce you. You have to meet people some type of way. So I thought, why not?
Yeah.
Was your energy different this time around?
Oh, 1000%. I think that you said, did I do anything different or was there anything different?
What did you do anything? Was your energy different?
Oh, my
Coming.
energy. Oh, 1000%. I feel like my guards were down more. You know,
Okay.
I felt like I needed to ask important questions. I think in the past, I didn't ask a lot of questions. And I feel like, you know, I don't like to waste people's time. I honestly believe that the first conversation, you know, if it's going to work, or you start seeing the red flags. And I've learned from dating, I'm the type of person I will let those red flags because I'm loving, you know, I'm understanding, I'm nurturing. You have to use those things in a positive way. You know, you can't use those things to try to manipulate people or to try to be in a relationship. That's how
Right.
I feel, you know.
I'm trying to
Just,
see. People said well, first of all, people are loving the bob. We think that looks super.
oh, thank you.
Is there a way that you can turn your screen so we could see a little bit more of you? Because I think it's giving us a real narrow view.
Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
Hey.
There we go. There we go. All right, you guys happy with that? So now we got Shareese in the building. So Shareese is here and taking a chance on New Orleans. Now let me ask you this, because when we talked to most of you guys in Miami, most of the women suggested that the dating scene in Miami was not it, right?
Right.
Well, what was your first thoughts about dating in New Orleans? Because that's a very different culture than Miami.
Very much so. I think that the men are gentlemen for sure. I enjoyed getting to know every last person that I went on a date with. I think clearly they are definitely they're more serious. I think they're open. They talk more. You know, I think that in Miami it's all about image and you know, it's they don't talk much. They don't have much to offer. So there's nothing to talk about.
So it's more superficial as opposed
More
to
superficial. I thought these guys were very, 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 they were being themselves. You know, I didn't feel like they were fake. I think that, you know, they were like, this is who I am, take it or leave it. Yeah. And definitely more mature. You know, I felt like gentlemen, just straight gentlemen.
okay. That though we're getting off on a good start. Then that's a lot better.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Let me ask you this also, because I think one of the things that happened on your season was a lot of the guys, not necessarily with you, but a lot of the guys were not necessarily attracted to some of the ladies that were there. Do you
Uh-huh.
feel the men this time were really interested in the ladies that were presented?
I think so. I think so. And I also think at some point they didn't have any other choice. Because it was really just the four of us. You know, I feel like, you know, Ready to Love is all about the men. And this was more so about four women dating, you know, and just trying to date, just putting themselves out there and, you know, just being vulnerable and seeing like, hey, could someone really be the one? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people saying, you know, what made them think they could move and find someone that quickly? You just never know. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a start if you meet someone and you get that spark. So I think you have to be open to whatever.
Shareese, what would it take? Because I know for you and Vernisha specifically, we know a little bit more about you guys' jobs than we do Ashley and Zadia. You guys have businesses that are yours
Right.
had for a while. You know, it's obviously you have clientele there that are,
Yeah.
part of your network. So what would it take to actually make you consider uprooting and starting over? Because I know both of you guys are big
Hmm.
entrepreneurs and very serious about the fact that you've built up, a business that you can be.
Yeah. Honestly, the only thing it would take is the right person, just the right person. And that's it. I mean, really, just the right person. I don't have a list of requirements or standards. I feel like, no, I do have standards, but I just feel like the right person because, you know, I do have a business, but at the end of the day, I want a business. I want a husband. I want to be a wife. I want to be a boss. Like I used to think I spent 20 years building my career and all this and that. Now it's time to share this with someone, you know, and I feel like if it was in New Orleans or if it is in New Orleans, you never know. Why not? You know, you can find love anywhere. you know? And so I'm not going to live my life, especially at my age, just focusing on, you know, just work and, oh, it's, you know, if I met someone, what's the possibilities? It would really have to just be the right person.
Okay. Okay.
Because I've done it before. I mean, living in Miami, it's harder for men to come and adjust to this environment. I think I've lasted because I have a business. You know, I know that a lot of people couldn't make it in Miami. You know, it's not that realistic for a lot of people. So I that's another reason why I'm open. I'm open for the right person.
Yeah, because it's a big contrast between the two cities. So
Very much
Yeah,
okay.
it
You know,
is.
and look, in New Orleans, you got that Southern hospitality. So that era of growing, parents growing, teaching their kids different values and stuff like that. So when you're in Miami, it's totally different because all that is nothing but a sightseeing place and a park.
It's all about appearance and looks.
which is great when you're young, but you want something of substance. You kind of
When you
have,
get older.
yeah. Well, or just depends on what you're looking for. Let me ask you
And
this.
see, and like your husband just mentioned, that's what I grew up on. You know, my mom's from North Carolina. All the men in my family are very, you know, Southern and gentlemen. That's what I'm looking for, you know.
Carolina,
Yes,
Now,
that's right.
okay.
Carolina folks are good people.
It's definitely Southern. It's definitely different. Let me ask you this, Shareese. Because I think when you come on the show, and I told you before, and I tell people all the time, I like these shows because I feel like it helps other women that are not on the show be able to kind of reevaluate and rethink how they date. So have your deal breakers changed since you started on the initial Ready to Love process? And if so, what deal breakers have you kind of, rethought or reevaluated?
Oh, absolutely. I think things like children, you know, being married, those used to be deal breakers for me. I realized that although I did date a man for a while who was like almost 60 with no kids and who had never been married, you know, some people are just unicorns, but I think like things like that. But I think my deal breakers are still my deal breakers. You know, things that I'm just not gonna
What are
like.
those?
I just think having young kids, for example, you know, that's something that I feel like a young child deserves your attention. If I had a young child and we could share that together, but that's where I'm at in my life. You know, I'm freeing up space for someone, so I want them to have the same time for me that I feel like a kid should have, you know? So that's just my reasoning for that. You know, I just think that if I had a young child, I certainly wouldn't be dating, but that's just me.
Yeah. But it's hard. I think it's hard to say when you don't, though. It's hard. This is my opinion. It's hard to say what you would do in that situation. I know, I will be honest with you. I agree in a way because it was difficult when I got divorced. My kids were 9 and 12. Very difficult. But
That's not young.
It was
That's older.
So
I'm talking about like small kids, like, you know, where it's crucial that you have two parents around, you know?
Well, but this is the thing though. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably with you. I did not like dating guys with little younger kids, but it wasn't because I felt like they needed to spend time with the kids, because a lot of times guys with young kids want a woman because they want a stepmom, because they want some help with kids. But I just knew I didn't want, being a single mom exhausted me of two. I felt like I don't have a lot of emotional bandwidth. So I remember dating guys that had like little kids, and I was like, I know I don't want to be the type of stepmom that has to, pick you up and like, that's nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't for me. But I do think that I do kind of wish, now that I'm married to Adrian, because my son was 9, and I think it would have been great if he had been able to be around a man like Adrian when he was 9. You know what I mean? Because he
Absolutely.
But so you just never can tell until you're in the situation. But I do understand. I feel like there's usually with young kids parental drama, and then the kid is going to be very attached to you. because they don't have a choice, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's just weird. How do you feel about that, Mo, as a guy? Like when your daughter was little, because I've known Mo since his daughter was like 2. And I remember going just as his friend, going to get her and keeping her a couple of times when he was big. I mean, she was just very attached to her dad. So I know any woman that she was around on a consistent basis.
I don't play about my daddy, and I'm 45 years old. So I know. I'm
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Mo.
Is she on?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm saying, can you hear her?
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
Are we good? Okay. Now, I think it's different though. You know, I think we all go through different sets of rules. Like as a man, 9 times out of 10, my child is going to be with the mother. You might just see my daughter every other weekend. I might, you know, but if I'm dating her and she has kids, I'm seeing them. You know what I'm saying? They're present there every day. So I, you know, the difference. And then the other thing is, I think you made a good point. Like when you're dealing with it, like if I remember, you know, because I can't do hair. I try to do my daughter. I'm the worst. So if somebody would do it for me and I return her back, she know I didn't do it, and there was a problem. Not a major problem, but there was a problem. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you go.
That's
and I've
it.
got enough problems. I've been there before and I've done that. And I don't want to do that anymore.
I mean,
and I feel like I have had men literally tell me, like, listen, I just want you to know, like, I still take care of my kid's mom. You know, I get her whatever she wants. You know, I pay her rent. I take care of everything, but I still want to date you. I still want to be there for you. And it's just like, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. Like, why are you holding this woman back, paying her bills, and you over here trying to do something with me and thinking I'm gonna accept that? So it's just like, I feel like men play games, you know, with this. And I just feel like, finish that, you know, don't leave that kid. Don't leave her. Finish that. And then when the kid's like 10, call me.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. So let's get into this, into the series, because I'm not gonna lie. The interesting thing is, Make a Move, I think, has a bigger conversation than Ready to Love, because it actually, we're getting a chance to get to know you guys and we can invest more. Ready to Love, we got all these people and it's a lot of little things happening, but it's not really like this. We get a chance to just focus on 4 people and what they do, as opposed to, it's just too much. So I think people are enjoying it more than they thought initially. How has this journey been different for you with the dating experiences? Let's start from the beginning. The first mixer, having a matchmaker, you know, as a matchmaker.
And we didn't know that we were going to have a matchmaker, by the way. So that was a surprise. When I first got there, I felt like Ashley and Vernisha, we met first, and it was like an instant connection. Like we hugged. And I will say, like, it was different because I felt like we were able to accept each other for who we are. You know, we were very vulnerable. We had so many great, like, empowering times together. Like, I literally cried before I left them. That's how many great times we had. You know, you don't always see that on television, but I think that it was a lot of realness there, opposed to the last time. I think as far as the men, these men were definitely like gentlemen. They all had great things to say. You know, they weren't, you know, malicious towards me. I feel like there wasn't a lot of like immaturity or name calling or whatever. It was just like, listen, this is who I am. This is what I have to offer. Do you want to get to know me more or not?
Okay.
Yeah. And then having Tamika, it was interesting, you know. It was interesting. It was good.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that she's, honestly, this is probably something, I like the fact that we don't see a lot of her. We see her come in, kind of organize, and then leave. So we really get a chance to get to know you guys' personalities more. How involved was she? Was there a lot that, because you see what they're showing us, was there a lot of interaction with Tamika that we're not seeing?
Yeah, I think it was a lot more. We had more sit downs with her that wasn't shown, like more one-on-ones. And actually, we did get to know her. She was very open, and she shared a lot with us because obviously, she wanted us to trust her being a dating coach.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so, we met her daughter and her husband and her assistant, and she's very open. And, she was great. She took us to the Four Seasons. She's a great host. She's
Yeah.
so fun and like down to earth, and the people love her in New Orleans. They just love her. They
Mm-hmm.
love her. And she's a Southern charm. She really is.
Yeah. Nice.
She
Nice.
is.
They said that
She,
that New Orleans, she had New Orleans on lock, so she was the perfect host for this.
I thought she was perfect.
Yeah, and she's beautiful as well. And I like the fact that she again has skin in the game. She's had a
Yeah.
long term marriage. She knows how to make a relationship work, and it's great seeing a woman with that perspective as opposed to just a man with Tommy. So that's cool.
Exactly. And it was nice to have it told from a woman's perspective,
Mhm.
That's a good point. Prior to the
Yeah.
any women were going to be in the house,
Say it again.
prior to going to the show, actually taping, did you know how many women were actually going to be at the house?
Yes, they told me that it was going to be. And see, I didn't know anything. I felt like they all had figured that I was coming, but I had no clue who it was. I wanted to know so bad, but nobody knew because you don't talk. Like me, I follow the rules. Sorry, I don't make the rules though.
So
And
the
I
rule,
don't ask for rules, by the way, but I try to follow the rules, So they say, don't discuss it, don't discuss it. They don't want us to know because it's not scripted. So they want you guys to see our real reactions. I get that, So them not telling us, I get it. They want us to be, I had no clue who it was going to be.
got you.
Wow. Well, that's funny because I knew. I mean, I'm in Atlanta, so I
See,
get.
and you knew. So, and all the other ladies, they knew because they're more like, especially Ashley and Vern. Ashley and Venetia are like ready to love plugged
Yeah. Yeah.
because they had the best season, honestly. I think that
Absolutely.
Atlanta and Texas was so great and it just was so wholesome. I actually watched it and was like, okay, I can see myself being on this. This is
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
Successful Black people dating, and it's not like negative and whatever drama.
Hmm.
So let me ask you a question. What made you go on the show the first time, and then what compelled you to come on this time?
This time. The first time, same thing. I feel like I wasn't dating and I saw the opportunity. So I thought, why not? And then after watching the show, you're sitting home thinking this is like really cool. And oh, this could be me meeting all these men and so why not?
Yeah. And then the second time, I'm sure it's just the same.
And the second time, it was more so talked me into it. It was literally on a limb. Like I only thought about it and processed it for like 48 hours. They don't give you a whole lot of notification. They have
Mm.
been trying to get in touch with me, but I was studying at the time. And so they'd be calling me and I'd be like, let me call you back. Like when I'm not, I was on Do Not Disturb. And they were
Mm.
like, listen. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? I didn't leave the show with anyone.
Mm.
I've grown since that experience. I learned a lot from that. Why
Mhm.
not give it another chance?
Yeah.
And if I'm in Miami and it's not here, maybe it is in New Orleans. And they said that these men could come to Miami or
Mm.
New Orleans. So I'm
Okay.
thinking, bingo.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the dates. This is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. Let's talk about the dates. And we know that we're only talking about what we have seen because we know that there's stuff that we have not seen yet.
Mhm.
So go ahead and make sure that you guys are liking and sharing this. We want people to hear Shareese's perspective. We had a chance to talk to Zadia. We had a chance to talk to Mizell. We're going to get into that, and that was a little bit of contradiction between their two stories. But let's start. Let's start with the beginning because Shareese, I feel like the date that you had first, the best,
Oh God.
like
Antonio.
a girl like that. That was not. But I felt like you didn't have a lot of options for
didn't.
I see you, probably gravitating towards.
Mhm.
This is no disrespect to the vest, but
That's it.
yeah. So
It was the vest, it was his voice, but he did have some good qualities, I guess, for someone else. I just saw so many red flags, just like 3 different kids. He's moving around the military. I'm like, and I probably didn't explain it as, what did I tell him? I said, you don't think you're moving around or something? I said, I meant like, what makes you think I think you're ready to settle down and you're ready for me? You have all this going on. And he had just moved from Hawaii, and I'm like, you just moved to New Orleans, so you definitely don't know about me moving here.
Right. You don't even know if you're going to be here. And he had a young child. It was a lot of
a 3-year-old, and then he said the girl was full of drama. I was like, oh no, this ain't gonna work.
I don't need that. I do not need
that.
So you were just getting your feet wet then. And then
my man,
Mr. Maurice.
Mr. Maurice.
They pulled Mr. Maurice out of the bag, out of the hat, Tamika. Yes.
I was surprised he stayed around as long as he did. I ain't gonna hold you.
I know. I mean, you know what it is? Some people, you guys got to realize, like, people, once the cameras are there and it's television, people get really like nervous. And so it's like you're so nervous that you just don't say anything. Like, everybody is not comfortable. I remember when my dad was on there, he kept telling me he was going to be fine. I said, Dad, are you sure you don't want me to prep you? He got in there. I saw the way he looked. I said, Dad, you're nervous.
Right.
But the crazy thing is, my dad, say it again, Mo.
I said Maurice couldn't have been too nervous. He was letting us know what he had on, and he was smiling and posing.
And the way he was eating that food, I said, you know what? I left that date. I said, y'all tried it.
I think he's a nice looking man. And I don't know if he was nervous. I mean, you probably know more obviously than we do. I think he was a nice looking man. I think he was an accomplished man, obviously, but he seemed from how he came off, he seemed a little full of himself. And then I remember my grandmother, Vivian Johnson, God rest her soul, was like my best friend before she passed away. But I remember my grandmother went on a date with this guy. And because my grandmother would love him and leave him, she would keep it moving. She was not playing no games.
Love it.
There was a guy that had liked her since she was in high school. She lived in Toledo, Ohio, and my granny said, I went out with him because he would always want to take her out after church. And she said, we got there, and I'm sitting across from him, and she said, I just got sick of sitting there and watching him. And she said, I was just watching him chew, and I said, I'm not sitting in here. She said she got up and left. And she told him, I'm not going to sit in here and just watch you chew. I'm over it.
That's it. I'm done. It's a wrap.
I never forgot. That was so funny that she left him. She said, every Sunday, I'm just getting dressed in my house. And she said that she would get like, they were at a buffet and she would get like one plate, but he would keep going back and getting more. And he was just, and that's what it reminded me of, because Maurice looked like he really was enjoying his food.
And he was definitely coming from church.
But he just didn't seem to be asking you stuff, and just that was bothering me.
Yeah, he was definitely, like I said, I think that he was on television. He's an attorney, he was pleading the fifth a little bit and just trying to be a little, because definitely off camera, obviously, I'm not going to just go for somebody for nothing. Right. He was showing me something different off camera. So I just think that he's a little more reserved and nervous on camera. He feels like we're supposed to just sit there and be like trophies and look at each other.
That makes sense, because he definitely wanted us to see
he's never done everything, and he was done up to a T. And to give you a little history on that, that's kind of how he was brought up and raised. His dad was a well-dressed man, so he's a well-dressed man to represent his dad.
Mm. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I think honestly, he was probably the best dressed there. You know what I mean? Like,
Sharp. And I like that. Me personally, I like that.
Of course. What do casket sharp? Like he was sharp. But and
he knew how to be casual too, because
yeah,
sometimes men don't, as they mature, they don't, they stick with the same wardrobe. You see them in the same thing over and over again.
mm-hmm.
So, but like that could come across.
Well, I was saying some of them don't know how to do like tennis shoes, sneakers. They can only do the hard bottoms, like the.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll never wear sandals.
On his Instagram, he was way cooler. It wasn't like it was the same.
That's what I'm telling you guys. He's super cool. Trust me. He's so fun, so cool. He's surrounded by like women and just, he's got a great personality. It just comes across on television but I shouldn't say a great personality. I would say he's not as stiff as you think.
Well, give us some. Tell us.
Like Maurice will come to Miami and go to live. Like he's one of those super cool. Like if it's a concert you want to go to, he's getting the front row. You're gonna be on the stage. Like he's got the season tickets to the football games. Like he's fun. He does the Mardi Gras parade thing. He has a well-balanced, wholesome life.
But let me ask you this, because I know that I recognize that type. They got access to everything because they're plugged in. They're very affluent. It's Black excellence. You know what I mean? It's not an issue, and he's responsible. He's all those great things. But I'm wondering, personality wise, because I had a girlfriend that had a guy that would take her. She would be sitting on floor seats at the Hawks game. She would be, front row at Beyonce. But she always say, "Christal, come with us," because she did not enjoy his personality when she was there. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering, like, are you laughing? Is he fun to be with?
Very fun, very catering, very gentleman, like complete gentleman. Yeah. I mean, the only thing is that I feel like, sometimes as women, you have to give men permission. I feel like for me, I have to show men that, okay, I'll let my guard down. I'm not judging you. You have to give them that space to really show you who they are. And I think that I called him out and I said, I know your type. You're an attorney. The women are coming after you. You could go to a bar, you're in a suit. That's what women are attracted to, money and power. You think you can be so reserved?
Your sound went out. The sound went out when you probably gonna have to go out and come back in, because the sound, it always does that for some reason if your phone rings.
Sound.
Yeah. She's gonna have to go out and come back. Go out and come back in so that you can and then we can, because otherwise we won't be able to hear your sound. Tina said production must have done a lot of cutting. Probably. Not Maurice unplugged her mic. Y'all are silly. silly.
I got a theory on that.
Turn this light on right here.
I got a theory on that.
What's the theory?
I don't want to spoil it. I'll wait till she.
I don't want to spoil it for you.
Huh?
You don't know that movie, the movie that I don't want to spoil it for you.
I don't know what
it's a movie reference with Denzel Washington. You guys know the movie reference?
What movie was that?
The last one. 3.
The one we was killing everybody. Yeah.
What is it called? Oh my gosh. I just saw Denzel Washington and went blank. My husband just excused himself. Y'all see that? He just bailed out. He just bailed out. All right.
There you go. I knew somebody was gonna get it.
All right, yeah, equalizer 3. There we go. Yes.
Sorry
Okay,
about that.
no problem. It always does that for some reason. It always does that. Okay, so you were telling us about Maurice's personality. People are saying there must have been a lot that we did not see, a lot that happened that was not on camera. So that's interesting to know, because I feel like you guys look the best together, because I think he's a very attractive man. I just do. I also think, like what you said about people in Miami, like he does seem, and I don't know him. We haven't talked to him, and we don't see much, but he just seems like he could be a little superficial, just a wee bit.
Absolutely. Well, I would have to agree with you. And that's probably why, because I don't really want that at all. I need to be able to connect with you on something deeper than just Miami and ha, and designer clothes and restaurants and games and concerts.
And especially at that age, how old is Maurice?
In his 50s.
Yeah, so I really like guys at that age to be like have a little bit more substance, like than that's.
But also he was married for a long time. He has 4 grown kids. So he's that, single bachelor. He was married for 20 some years,
He's back in the scene, just being clean. Like,
trying to prove, I'm good.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That all factors in when they get released from a long-term marriage. He got the ladies coming at him, and he got the money to take care of them. Okay, that explains something.
To pick back up. What better time?
Huh?
What better time to pick back up as a man if
That's what I'm saying. That's where he's at in his life. So,
Were you
Mr. Cool Guy? But you know something? His name is Maurice. My dad's name is Maurice. He's a Sagittarius. My dad is a Sagittarius. And I was like, you know what? This man reminds me, because my dad is like that. He's very reserved and just so cool about everything. But he's got your back. My dad, he gonna let you know. He's one of those type of men, but he's just, and he's into himself. So I saw that right away. And I'm just like, I don't know if this is a good combination for me.
Your dad also seemed like he was popular with the ladies.
Bingo.
He seemed like he had no trouble getting the ladies' attention. He was very smooth. You could tell he's a talker. And
yeah, my mom went through it.
Yeah. Mo, you have any other questions about Maurice before we move on?
No. Like I said, when I saw his Instagram, it was a totally different guy, and I thought that I was like, okay. I looked at him. Well, I want to move on to the other guy.
Hold on,
which one?
Before we go for Maurice, were you conflicted about it? Because Renisha did say that she thought you guys really did, connect and that kind of thing.
I was very conflicted about it. I was very conflicted. And the thing is, he never stopped calling me from.
Nice.
Like, he always checked on me every day. He knew I was having a hard time because, it was hot and different things that was going on, adjusting to a new environment. And he was just like so consistent.
Okay. So it
was very hard.
If you hadn't been on the show and you met Maurice, do you think that you would he have been someone you were interested in? Do you think you would have tried to figure
Definitely. It out? I think definitely he's someone that if I saw him at a bar or if he came up to me and asked for my number, I would definitely consider it.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I felt the connection with him. I felt like, okay, they picked someone that is kind of like, my speed, but I just don't know if he's too superficial. But there was times where he did tell me things that were, like his history on his dress with his suit and his parents and his family stuff. And
Kiki asked, were you physically attracted to him? And I feel like the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Because you said earlier that you dated a guy that was 60. So do you have an age range?
60? Did I say that?
You did say that. You did say
I thought
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I need to retract that. I mean, I think the oldest I've ever dated is like 55.
Okay.
Just so you know, we just heard.
Yeah,
Let
we
me
know.
retract that.
Maybe it was an overstatement. 'Cause I think we were talking about just got people without kids or whatever.
Or
but
maybe I said almost 60.
yes.
That
Okay.
might-
Almost.
So 55. So that's your. So what's the age range that you are comfortable dating?
I think anywhere from 40 to 55.
Okay.
Okay.
So Ms. View said she said close to 60. I heard 60, and I was just like, whoo, that's
Child, I'm good. I mean, I'm a lively kind of person. I can't.
Yeah.
60? Come on, ain't nothing working over there.
I don't think it can be. I don't think it can. But we know, no disrespect to any 60-year-old men out there. 'Cause
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shame y'all. I'm sorry because we have stuff to stop working too. So trust me.
you can always get something to juice it back up.
Yeah, but then you have run a risk of having a heart attack, and you just stay around till I get.
Y'all talking about 60-year-old brothers. If y'all see this on YouTube, don't. That was a shot, ladies.
That's not a shot. There's nothing wrong with 60-year-old.
That's just the reality.
Yeah.
Sometimes it don't. Even the older women will tell you that.
So,
They be complaining like, please, girl, I wish I could get something out of that thing. It don't work.
do y'all embrace that? How would you deal with that?
You deal with it when you love them and you've been with them for 20, 30 years.
That's not gonna fix the problem.
I don't know. You try to fix it. You take them to the doctors. You find something to get that thing going.
Go to the doctor, to make an appointment immediately.
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
go? Would you go with
Hell
them?
yeah, I go with them. Sure
Patient
would.
Express said hospice care and ED, ma'am. The chat is hilarious. All right, so we speaking of men that are virile and
How old are you, Mo? How old are you?
I'm 53.
Oh, you look good. Okay.
And my age range is yours too. It's like 40 to 55.
That's good. That's good. I thought you was gonna say 35.
Oh, hell no. Nah, I don't want nothing 30.
Okay.
20. But my man, let's get to it, Christal, because I know where you going.
All right. Which one?
For you, I will say, Shareese, that Mo is you're speaking, but you kind of are like us, because even though his age range is 40 to 55, he don't like it to look 55. So he wants it to look like him, like he doesn't look his age. So he wants
I don't blame you, Mo. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, people say I believe in taking care of yourself. I'm 45. I'm gonna be high maintenance to the day I die. And I tell these women, keep yourself looking good, because men want women that smell good and look good and sound good. And you do it for yourself. It's self-care.
Mo, there is a testimony, one more testimony in the chat.
What's that?
Living in Charlotte, North Carolina, Tanya says, most men that I meet are impotent, and I am 55.
Hey.
She said, I'm just keeping it real.
Hey.
Testimony out there. Okay, so let's talk about Keith. Let's talk about Keith.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Who lazy?
Who lazy?
Oh my God.
No, but the funny thing, so when we first were introduced to Keith, I enjoyed Keith's, because number one, Maurice was showing us his Louis Vuitton, and
oh my God,
constantly like so much of that. So when we met Keith, who was just like down to earth and seemed to be like a Southern gentleman, because Maurice don't necessarily seem Southern. He seems like he could do well in
stuck
Atlanta.
up, right?
And I don't even say stuck up. He just seems like he's not slow. He could be in Chicago and be fly.
Oh yeah. Right.
It's not a Southern thing. He doesn't seem to fit New Orleans brand. Keith fits the brand of New Orleans. So at first I was like, okay, he was open about going to therapy and, trying to change his life. So I was excited at first.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it like that. Mo?
He lit up when he saw her. I said, I remember that.
Yay.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, because I want to hear what you want to know.
Yeah,
Or you,
I know that for a fact.
he lit up when he saw me.
When he saw you, that's a
So you when you saw that, you was like, okay, this is a good one for her. Were you guys thinking like she should pick Keith? Honestly,
as we went on, not so much, but in the
In
beginning,
the beginning, but then as the conversation continued, no. But at first, we were just excited about the fact that he seemed well in touch with himself and able to communicate, which is impressive.
that's what right. And that's why I said, okay, let me go out on another date with him because perhaps he's in the right place and this could go somewhere else. And maybe it'll be some chemistry. He'll say something.
right.
But I feel like with Keith, he's one of those men that first of all, I didn't like the fact that his reason for not traveling was that he said that the girl he was dating did not help him get a passport.
Ooh.
And I know what kind of girl I am, or lady, woman, whatever. I'm just not that type of girlfriend. Like, I'm not going to be able to do things for you that you should be doing for yourself in your 50s because I'm not going to ask you to do that for me. So I just felt like he seems like perhaps he needs someone different than me because I just know that if it didn't work with him and this girl because she did something like that, more than likely you're not going to be able to count on me to do something like that for you either. So I felt like that was a big red flag for me. Just like, and it feels like if you're blaming someone else for something that you could have done for yourself. That's not a good explanation for why you don't have a passport.
Gotcha.
Facts. Let me ask you this because Mo and I have talked about this. The whole passport conversation is big on social media, right? So I will tell you what I think. I didn't like that either. And I do know that there are men who Keith seemed to be, we liked him a lot. We had him on the show. He's very personable, funny, but he does seem like a man that needs a woman that is different than you, right?
1000%.
But I think that, and there are men who kind of like aren't into traveling, and that's fine if that's not what you're into, because for bless his heart, and I hate that people clowned him about saying that he had traveled to Dallas, but that was just not, you guys have a different outlook on things. And then even when we pressed him for where he had went on a vacation with his girlfriend, he said to Houston. He said to Houston. But he's not into that. But let me ask you
and
this.
You can drive these places from New Orleans. You guys know that.
Right.
So I need somebody who at least knows how to get on the airplane, let alone a passport. Because I heard some people say, oh, she don't, she's worried about that. I'm not that desperate for a man, number one. So at least he gonna come with some damn passport. Okay. Period.
What if he didn't have a passport? What if he didn't have a passport, but because he maybe had not been focused on that? Because there are some guys that do want to travel.
Of course. And you want to say, hey, babe, we got this life together. Let's do it. Help me get a passport. Bop. I got you.
Cool.
But don't blame people for why you don't have a passport. Just say it's something that I haven't done, or lie and tell me you've been waiting for me to do it, travel with.
That would have been smooth.
I like that line. I like that.
Because I've been waiting on you, baby.
Keith is not a liar. Keith is going to give it to you straight, even if it's not good. Keith told us he had been dating married women accidentally. It was all kind of stuff.
He got trauma. I'm telling y'all. That's why he was doing that therapy. And he's got some stuff he's dealing with. But I think that his heart is in the right place and he's trying to be a good man. He's trying to be a better person. Definitely, just because I let him go, he still was very respectful. That's another thing I really appreciated about these men in this show. They gave me my flowers. I gave them their flowers. I was not rude to any of them because that's not what I was there for. I was there saying, you know what, this is an opportunity to get to know someone, even if he's for me or not. But I'm not going to make a person feel less than, just because it's not a good match. And it's true. This is the fast process. And like I said, I'm experienced. So I know from the conversation if I want to continue.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, bless his heart. But I do like the fact that you said it's not the passport, it's the fact of the reasoning why. Because if he can get one and I like him, then let's figure it out and get your passport. But I don't want to be with a man that I have to be his mom because I don't. You don't want me
that's
to.
what I was seeing. I
Mhm.
can't do that. I don't want to do that.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Let me ask you this from the show because we didn't see great chemistry on any of those dates. With Maurice, we saw a lot of silence and awkwardness. With Keith, at first it was cool, but then it was clear you guys were just like this. Now, I feel like you had great chemistry on the date with Mizell, but I want to ask you, looking back at the show, when you watch it, do you feel like the way that they showed the dates was a true representation of what your experience was on those dates?
Some of them, yes. I think that pretty much, yeah, what you saw was that's it. These dates are quick. I think that the date with Mazel was definitely because people were saying, well, why was he dressed like that? And why were you dressed like that? Because they said we were going to dance class. But in New Orleans, the dance is like twerking and moving. So I'm like, well, they said wear active clothes. But anyway, that wasn't really important. I felt like we just danced. So we didn't really get to like talk and get to know each other. We danced and then he asked for my number. And I don't even remember if I had a conversation with him that night that he asked for my number. He was texting me. But you got to remember, we filmed 28 days every day. So sometimes we were filming not on a date, we were doing house reality. So sometimes it wasn't a whole lot of time to be sitting there, talking on the phone.
Right.
So I think with Mizell, he felt like he never really could get my attention and he didn't really get the opportunity that he wanted.
He said that.
And again, Mizell, I didn't really get frustrated with him because again, I am reasonable. Like I'm understanding. I don't like the drama. I don't like bad blood. If you show me who you are, it's okay. I'm not going to beat you down. And I had already figured Mizell out because he has 4 brothers. He's the oldest. He's the only one who's not married. He has 2 different baby moms and they all get along. And I did not see myself in that family at all. That's just not going to work for me. I'm not going to be the 3rd queen. It's already 2 queens and they're getting along. That's not the dynamic that I want. So those were red flags. The things that I heard from him was just Playboy, and that's why he got himself. He showed me exactly, and that's why he respects me now because he know I kept it real with his ass, to tell you the truth. And I called him out because I saw his shit, and I did. You didn't see it on the camera, but I did, and it's because sometimes men you have to call them out and let them know you're not stupid. And I see exactly who you are, and I figured it out. He's a playboy. I said, you're at the school, you're a principal, you're a little hot shot, with the salt and pepper, and you got your little hips, and you think you're cute.
She ain't lying. She ain't lying.
and he was just laughing. And I told him, I said, I know. He talking about, yeah, I do get that reputation. I just think that sometimes, it's hard to be upfront and it's hard to. I said, well, you have to be honest.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to be. If you want women to respect you, be a man of your word. Be honest. Don't play games. You're too old to play games.
That's true. That's true. But, playboys need love too, eventually.
But I don't think that, I felt like, I do think that, I think it came across like he had ill intentions, but I really didn't think he did. But the way it all ended up coming out, it just seemed that way,
So do you think we were
But I think he also was very misled to believe that he broke my heart or it really hurt me and he was disappointing me. No, myself, because I was not attracted to him.
Okay.
That morning when I told her that I might give him a chance, because at the party, you see, the last time I saw him, listen, at that damn mixer, I had men everywhere. It was a girl, we was in there. That was the most exciting. Well, a lot of the nights were exciting. Yeah, it's more to come. But that was really fun because we had men everywhere, to the point where the servers were trying to get my number. Other guys that went out on other dates with other people was like, "Hey, I didn't see you. Let me get." So Mizell saw all of that and he got jealous.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys who worked there went and got me food because we're filming. It's hard. Sometimes we miss out on eating, or we need this or need that. And one of the guys who worked there went and got me all this food, and Mizell saw it all. He can't, and then he said, "Can I have your number?"
Oh
And
wow.
I said, "Why? You think it's not gonna work out with none of these guys?"
You ain't feel no type of way
What about what?
with that
About
situation.
what he did with Renisha? Oh, absolutely. But I don't think that he was trying to be. I don't know what the man was doing.
No,
I really don't know. I
I
just think that.
don't think he's a mean and malicious man. I just think he just tries to be a little slick, and it usually works.
I just think he don't know what he's doing, because you can't out slick me and Renisha. That's just stupid. That's just dumb.
That was
That's
dumb.
stupid. That's just dumb, and I just cannot deal with it. And that's why I told him this is just not going to work. But let me tell you something. He swore down. He called, and he just act like he was so devastated. I'm like, how could you be devastated?
Do you think that he was seriously in, because he did say that he reached out to you and you didn't respond, and he also said that he was interested, except you just didn't give him any energy. But do you think if you had have been okay with keeping him around, that he would have continued to pursue you?
Oh my, he still tries to pursue me. What do you mean? He tried to pursue me every day and every night, So that's the thing. I was really blindsided because, as you see, I was sitting there telling Zadia, okay, maybe I'll give. It was one thing that I will say that was a deal breaker with him, and I'm not going to say what it was because I don't want to sound like I'm being mean, but it was a hygiene thing that there's no way I could have another conversation with him under those conditions, if you know what I mean.
You just shared with us that there were some hygiene issues. Got it. We picked it up.
So I
right.
was just done with that anyway. Like, you're not going to sit in my face and lie under these heavy conditions that I have to breathe under. It's just.
Oh,
Not your breath smells like you're lying.
You got to go. Not only because you tried to play me and my friend, but you got the problem. You need to go to the dentist.
Yikes.
That's where you need to go.
Damn. Okay. That was hilarious. Heavy conditions. Denzel.
Because Venetia wasn't having that shit. So
No.
he was he just looked crazy.
She was disgusting.
But he swore out, it was innocent, Shareese. I don't know. My bag. And she asked for I don't know. Like, you were talking to the guy, you were getting food, you were giving your number out. I don't know. I'm like.
So maybe that's why he did it.
Oh, I know that. So he was definitely jealous. He was in his feelings. He was mad.
Yeah. Wow.
Because he wanted it, he wanted to show his hips off. That's why he came. Yeah, I put the ladies, I put y'all some treats. I got you some cupcakes. This here is the pastry.
Because me and Christal was talking about that, and it was like, okay, he bought Zadia because it was her birthday. Then he gave everybody else the same. Our thing was, where was the special gift for you?
Exactly. He didn't even speak to me till last. That's why I said, please.
The best for last. I said, why wouldn't you have brought her something even more special because she was your date? He said, I saved the best for last.
After I looked at him like he had 3 heads.
Bless his heart.
He came in there.
Can we get to Denzel? Because it just went bad fast. It went downhill quickly.
Very fat.
And you guys also, let me tell y'all this. You may not realize it, but so I went on the blind date with Mazel, right? So the ladies had never seen him. So a lot of the times we would just be meeting their blind dates. So that's when it becomes like, okay, it's, since she's not really keeping him or she doesn't know, these people are on the fence. So we're both like, we're all taking notes. Like, okay, what you think about him,
You said you did not come home talking about him at all.
I didn't. I told them, first of all, it was just dancing with somebody under those conditions and then talking,
Oh my goodness.
So it was just like,
Jesus help.
Get out of here. Let me be nice.
Wow. Okay.
But that's real life. When you go on dates, these kind of things, that's what happens.
Oh, what happens? This is really what happens.
And it ain't like you can just leave, you're dating on television. In real life, you'd be like, oh my God, I think my dog got hit by a car. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And he hit you in the forehead.
You know what? What was that about? That was flirting. That was him trying to be like.
It was. So,
because that was the night he got me that night. Remember, I was starting to loosen up to him because that was after the dance. So I invited him and Danzy to come because I wanted the ladies to meet the both of them. Danzy, I'm gonna tell you guys, the date was very impressive. Very. I thought he's very intelligent. He's very well traveled. I love people who love what they do. Had a lot of energy on that date. It was very. And then so I said, well, let me see how he is, at the party and around other people, how he's going to be. But the date was perfect. The food was great. We enjoyed the food and we had great conversation. So I was kind of excited about him. I'm like, he's a nerdy guy. I can go for this. Let me see. And we get to that party, man, people start drinking. And I don't know. I think Danzy may be like 35. He's not in his 40s at all. And so I think he's younger, and then I didn't realize he was drinking so much because you got to remember sometimes we're over here and they're over there and we're separated, whatever. I had no idea he was drinking that much. I just felt like, is this really who he is? Because I didn't know he was drinking like that because I didn't see him making all those drinks. But he was oh my God, Ashley wanted to kill him. I wish they would have showed you guys that part. Oh God.
Well, we saw you tell him. Did I tell you to put your touch me
hands on me? Like,
woo.
He was treating me like he was my plus one. Like we were already, dating. Like I brought him there and, we were going to get married or something. I'm like, you need to get off of me. And they didn't show. He was also like jabbing at Mizell. He was jabbing him. So that was another reason why I was like, okay, I can, because Mizell handled that so well. Because it could have really, so I was like, Danzy needs to just leave. I can't date somebody. I'm already explosive. He's the type of guy, you come back from the bathroom and you're like getting thrown out of the place because he done got drunk,
Yeah. So you did ask Mizell to help because Mizell said he basically was he saw that you needed interference.
To be rescued.
Yeah.
Mizell need to stop trying to be like, boy, bye. That man was jabbing at you and you came over there and just saved me because you wanted to make sure you was, still okay. Because you saw him try to beeline me pretty much. Okay. And he was dying to get back in that spot. Why were you sitting over there staring the whole time? And Danzy was like, so Mizell came over like, you want a drink? And Danzy's like, no, man, she got a drink. She good. You want one? I'm like,
oh snap. Oh snap.
He was so crazy. I said, it would never work.
Yeah.
He was just saying, he's one of those people that drink and they just say too much and they get too comfortable. He got way too comfortable. Way like his was just going around saying all kind of shit to people. And Ashley was like, He started calling her anime and he was just nuts. Oh my God, he was nuts.
Oh my God. Well, maybe because I know that they like people to drink at those because they're hoping for that type of stuff. So maybe he's not a drinker. Because the date was great. Like I was like, okay.
Oh, trust me, you be wanting to drink because it's long hours. I know, like I probably drink at least 25 bottles of tequila this summer.
But at least you can hold your liquor. He couldn't. He was
in the house responsibly.
He was sweating and talking, and it just was bad.
And I was just like, I know he said he was a drug dealer, a pharmacist. Is he on his own supply? Like, what the hell is?
He did make that awkward joke in the beginning. It was an awkward joke there
Oh,
at the beginning.
yeah, with the
He was a drug dealer. But you know what? There was another guy, Renisha's date. I don't know if you guys, what's his name? He was sweating so bad. Homeboy was just nervous.
Oh yeah, I know the guy with the freckles. What's his name?
Sorry.
Not the guy with the freckles. Freckles is animated. That's Jabari. He's just, hey, baby, I'm gonna drink. But the other one is the one that she went on a date with. They had some serious questions, but he was at the party as well. So she sat there and he was like, what's his name? He kept trying to interact with her, and then he was going back and forth with Tapari, trying to get her attention.
Wait a minute. Because I remember she did have another date there, but we knew that she liked Tabari. Oh my gosh. I cannot remember his name. I can't even see his face now.
Anyway, he was sweating like crazy. I remember being like, let me get you some tissues or something. I think that people really do be nervous. I'm telling you.
Obviously something with a K. Cordell, Kenneth, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shareese, so now let's get to the younger guys, because these guys, what is the name, the boys' names that
was another thing. I was getting all these younger guys. It was like,
I was like, why did people send her out with the 30-year-olds? Like they sent her out with the buff muscles.
Little bro and shit,
Ain't nothing wrong with the muscles, but you could tell those are little young babies. Those are young babies. That's not, it doesn't make sense. Now, the date where you were flirting with the guy.
Oh, Nick. Oh my God. Nick.
So is that your physical type?
Oh God, help.
I remember you like athletes.
Baby, listen, I don't typically go for the high top fade, but remember, I'm trying not to be superficial. I'm trying to just see because you can change that,
Flirting with that man.
I was flirting with him, of course, just like you're gonna flirt a little bit, have a little fun. Nothing wrong with that. I got eyes.
I just want him to fade it in. I don't want it to be stark contrast. High top, then
y'all didn't see that. I wish y'all could have seen our faces when they showed us. So on that opening day, it was 25 of these men standing there, and we're just sitting there like, oh. And then like, okay, Tamika, you got 25 men, ladies. So out of all of these men, which one do you want? You go first. And you're like, can I get another minute? Can I talk to him? Hey, you smile, take your hat off, move your glasses. Y'all didn't see how we had to be like, can you turn to the side? Take your glasses off. You have on a hat. I need to see your So Nick was standing there. I said, oh my God, this is like Coming to America. He's standing there with that high top thing. And he just kept on doing me like this, y'all.
Oh.
Like, pick me. And I was just like, oh shit. I can't look at it no more. So then that's when I was like, fuck it, I'll take Kermit, the one with the suit on and the damn.
Man.
I'll be safe. I'll go the safe route. I can't do it. Go the safe route.
Him, he's fucking in the front and he's decent. But I had already seen Nick. So when I saw him on the date, I wasn't surprised that they thought, okay, let me go back and get him. Because I did say there was this guy, because they asked you, was it anybody else? Yada, yada, yada. And I was like, there was this guy with a high top fade. He had a cute face and he just kept staring at me like I should pick him. So for some reason, I just felt like, what is he trying to say to me? So maybe they took that as, I wanted to see what was up with him. But I'm glad I got an opportunity because, again, like I said, you don't want to just go by the looks. You got to open up the book and see what's underneath those muscles. And it was nothing. Let me stop. You know what? He brought me some beautiful flowers. And you know what really shocked me with him? And which I don't blame him, right? He's young. He's a sweet guy. He is. I mean, I'm just not the girl for him. And again, like I said, I'm not here to, make nobody feel like, exactly, like somebody else will date you who will drive to California. It won't be me. That was another thing he said. He drives to California when he go to vacation.
He drives? From Louisiana to California?
Maybe he drives in a Winnebago and he does the whole.
I'm not on no road. I'm not a road chick type of person. I don't want to be on the road. I'm
over 3 hours. I need to be on a plane.
I mean, I'll take a Winnebago on a little 4-hour trip, but California, that's like 3 days.
It's too
I'm
long.
not that adventurous. That's just not me. I can't. I'm gonna suffocate and die. It's just not gonna work.
But okay, what's the guy's name with the dreads? Because I actually thought he was a better option. I do, Shareese. I think
Will. He was so sweet and polite.
He was sweet, and I feel like they both were young, but I feel like
he was so young.
He was more serious than Nick. Nick is here for games. Nick is here for games.
He was. Because he gave me his little workout outfit stuff. I'm like, look at him trying to get a plug. Can't stand these people trying to plug their stuff.
Men be on it. I mean, everybody be on it, but yes, trying to get his stuff, trying to get his shine on. But what was wrong with him? What is this name? Does anybody in the chat know
which one?
With the dreads.
Will, yeah. I love Will. He's so sweet. He's such a gentleman. Just young. He has a young kid. He really wants to be in New Orleans. He loves New Orleans. He's like belongs to all these like charitable events where he helps people. He's so generous. He has like foundations. Yeah. Great person. You should interview him, honestly. I enjoyed talking to him. So nice. And he's sweet, he's really sweet. He has a young son and he's really want to be there for his son.
Okay. That makes sense. I thought he was more more ready for a relationship.
Oh yeah. 1000%. Will is ready for the right person. He is definitely a young king. I think he's like 35.
Yeah.
He might not even be 35, like 32. But he says he's used to dating older women, and I can see that because he's extremely mature, like very mature, very caring. I enjoyed making that pot with him, even though it was disastrous.
I liked it. So why Nick? But Nick looks like he would be fun for right now. Like if you just needed to enjoy the night or two, but not necessarily for seriousness.
Yeah.
But were you seem more physically attracted to Nick than to Will?
I think that's what it was. It was a physical attraction, and Nick was very open that night. So, because remember, I had to decide. I had them both there.
Yeah.
And Nick came with these beautiful roses and just like all this stuff. And he was talking about how, he wanted to do all this stuff with me for the first time and how he wants to open up and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And then he started talking about a sugar mama. And I was like,
what?
Where?
Wow, that's bold.
Because Shareese don't go there.
Bold for him to even bring up. See, this man got nerve.
That's what I'm saying. So that was a red flag because I'm like, okay, he's young. He's looking at it like she's successful. She got her own money. Let me go ahead and try to sweet talk my way into her bank
He looked
account.
trying to put something down to get you.
Especially being a trainer, these women will definitely pay for him. He can get on one of them websites to sell himself. I'm not buying it.
I mean, but I feel like that's free though. I don't feel like women have to. I guess some women will, but I feel like we should all bound together and know that it's free.
Mm-hmm.
And the attention and physical enjoyment of men is always free. You don't have to pay for that, ladies.
That's desperate. That's just too much.
Ladies out there are paying. No ladies that listen.
Lady or men, don't do it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Shareese. You're right. Mo, where you at? Because you're not chiming. Chime in.
I don't like them last statements I was talking about. But
no, because even that's why we don't go in the third. A woman could be looking for a sugar daddy too. Like at my age and being accomplished, some younger, that's the risk I run sometimes. That's a red flag. Some of these young guys, they fit.
Absolutely. I've heard guys, I know guys that when they hear certain things that what women do for a living or their lifestyle, I know certain guys that's their thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so men have those conversations too. So yeah, I get that part.
You know what I'm talking about. I have a homeboy now. He gonna find some girl on the internet or somebody to stay with, and he'd get all up in their head. So it happens.
It does.
It does. I've even had guys try that when they see that you work around celebrities and stuff. They you need if you want somebody to go to a red carpet. I'm like I'm thank you, sweetie, but I'm good.
I get those DMs all the time. If you need somebody to accompany, no.
Because there are women out there that do,
that will do that.
Yeah.
Well, I hope there are no women out listening.
I want the real thing. Me and Christal, we want who's real, not who's trying to be fake on some red carpet. Because I might not even make it to the damn red carpet, or I might not want you to go.
I don't want you to go. I'm going to go, but I don't want you to go. I don't.
You make sure I get there, okay?
Right. I don't need a +1 if I don't have one. No, I take Sam to the beach. But
thank you.
But I want to ask you, did you know that LJ was going to be your
hell no, that's another shocker. So y'all just don't know. Ciao. So the day that they told us that there was gonna be, I had no clue. We had no clue. Because remember, it's not scripted. So they needed to be no clue. I didn't have no clue, but other people did. That damn LJ, I could kill him. So he never told me, like everybody else knew who their person was coming. Like, girl, I'm gonna be down there. I got your back. I never knew it was LJ. But in my mind, I was thinking, who could it be? Because I said, well, Jamala, I don't have a problem with her. Brandy, I don't have a problem with her. Looney, I don't have a problem with her. Who else from Trinika? I said maybe they would get Trinika to do it because Trinika was always consulting me. I said it could be Trinika. I know it's not going to be so and so and so and so and so and so, but those were the ones that I was like, if anybody. But I said this network, they know they don't want to go there with me. So that day was just like, I was sitting there like, who the hell is coming through that door? Because they might be getting ready to see some real shit go down.
Like we saw.
But it still went down regardless.
Yeah, it did.
And, I was just like, for me, it was unnecessary, It was just like, because that was never my intention, when that whole thing happened with the, I should have told her that I woke her up and this is that and the third. I was never trying to snitch on anybody. That was never my intentions. That night, we were all just getting to that house, right?
Yeah.
So quite naturally, I wanted to check to make sure. That night when everybody leaves, we were on our own. There was no rules. It was just when everybody leaves, I read through everything. This is my life.
Mhm.
You know, I'm going to stay somewhere. That's just always been the type of person I am. I'm cautious about everything, right? So she says we in the evening we could do whatever we want to do. So we would always drink, you know, whatever. So we're in the kitchen. She says, homeboy's about to come over here.
Mhm.
She said, does anybody have a problem with that? I said, I do.
Mhm.
I said, I do because I just don't feel like I don't feel comfortable. I'm in my night clothes. I don't know him. All my belongings are in here. I don't care if we're still sleeping on the same floor. I don't care. I need to lay my head and feel like we had security all night walking around the property. We are in a big ass house. I live in a secure, like I have security where I live. That's just how I live.
Mhm.
And I just didn't think, I don't even let men that I first meet come to my house. Like I just don't do that. And that's how I felt. But I felt like, okay, great. She said, no problem. I understand. I won't bring him here. I will leave out of the house and go to him. I said, great. Thank you. It was over. It was done. Then I said, since this is my first night in this house, let me take a step further because maybe I'm being the lame one here. You know, maybe the guys are supposed to come in here. I don't know what the hell, but I need to know if I'm going to be staying here. So I went to the people who were taking care, you know, our assistants, the PAs, and I said, what's the protocol on this? And I guess that's when Tamika came back with the rules and all this that caused all the drama.
Okay.
But I never went to be like, you know, she did this, she did that. I just wanted them to know, listen, if one of the ladies want a man to come in here, is this going to be okay?
Right. Well, so what was the issue with that morning? Because were you really irritated that she woke
I
you?
was, because not only that, what you guys didn't see is off camera, I just didn't feel the love from her. Like I said, Ashley and Bernicia, it was natural. It was the friction there. It was just like, even you see outside when we all met and I was saying things, she didn't even hug me. Like I went to hug her, she didn't hug me. Like I went to high five her one time. And it was like off camera, she was like talking at me. And one morning I'm going into the dressing room and she talks at me, and you're just not gonna talk crazy to me. Like you can't do that. I'm not gonna let you do that. And I didn't. And I told her, listen, I don't mind you asking me a question, but don't come at me like that because you don't know me.
Right.
And she hugged me and we tried to mend it.
Okay.
But I felt like she just treated me different. And come to find out, she felt like I treated her different too. We just did not have that bond naturally. You know, it was just friction.
Yeah.
You know, she was like accusing me of telling somebody that she was going to be on the show. And I'm steady telling her, I don't even know how to pronounce your name from when you was on Ready to Love DC or whatever the hell one you was on.
Yeah.
I never even knew how to pronounce your name. Like, I don't know anybody. And she was like, well, you know Sabrina. Me and Sabrina have never had a conversation about you ever. So it really pissed me off because I'm like, you don't come at somebody telling them what they did. You telling people that I'm on the show, baby, that's not me. Shareese don't do that. I'm not. Don't come at me.
All happening before we even got to
off camera. So that's where all the tension, right? So we were already friction with us. Then she asked me, she called me on the phone and said, open the door.
Wait a minute. She said, open the door. Did she say good morning? She said, hey, Shareese.
On door. She just said, open the door.
She said, I'm outside, open the door. I said, okay. All right, well, but she knows that perhaps I'm up early. Perhaps I'm not, because sometimes we go to bed later, you know, and so I don't get up at 7. But normally she knew I was up, but I wasn't up. And I didn't have a problem doing it. It's just the way she talked to me. It's the way she would say things that was just like, who do you think you are? Like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So it's not it. And then so like it just wasn't it. And I didn't say anything, but naturally I'm the type of person, I want to avoid a conflict. I'm just going to know how to move around you. Once you show me who you are, I'm going to avoid you. Right. And then you see where she's saying, well, you know, it changes the tone in the house. It doesn't change the tone because I can't deal with being around you because the way you talk to me, it's just not going to work. So we might as well just not be around each other. So there was times where I would just have my moments with the other ladies because that's who I got along with,
Yeah.
you know? And then we tried to get along. But then when she started the whole drama with the LJ, I was so like, this is so petty and immature.
Well, I would just say that we thought LJ gave the best advice out of everybody's friend. And I think it's because, which is why I've asked Mo to do
He
these
did.
with me, because it's good to have a level-headed guy. Is always good to give. He gave really real good advice. I feel
It-
like,
And that's why he's my friend. He is definitely, and that's who LJ is.
mhm.
And I feel like, it was a good person for me. Like, I'm glad it was LJ. I was actually relieved that it was LJ. And I think that was a great fit for me. It
he
could have,
comes off as a fair person.
he
Yes.
is.
I
Yeah.
see that.
He is. And, LJ is a Caribbean man. So, and we're friends, right? So it's okay for a man and a woman to be friends. Like, we already was on a show together and decided to be friends. He's my neighbor. He lives down the street from me. Like, I could be going to Target and I'm like, oh shit, there's LJ. Hey, LJ.
Mhm.
So it's like it's a real friendship, and it's not forced and it's not romantic.
Yeah.
It's nothing there romantic. LJ is young. Because people are like, you guys get along so much, and if he gives you such great advice and you know him so well, because it's not there.
Yeah,
It's
I
not.
couldn't see you guys together, but I think he gave great advice, like a brother, like Mo has always given me. Um, what did he? What was his? Because he's very laid back and cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Mm-hmm.
did he? What was his reaction to Zadia and that? That what was attempted to be created.
Laughing. He just laughs. LJ is a island man. Like, that's just so stupid, and don't worry about that. And that's just childish, and the truth. Keep it moving, keep it pushing.
Yeah,
It's all good. Just laugh at it. Don't let it get you upset.
yeah,
That's him.
cool. The Haitian Empress is, you know what? You got to come on here with us one day because you are hilarious. She said, "Do you care to give Mo some advice about that toothpick? Do you have your toothpick in tonight, Mo?"
Who,
Listen,
me or you
Mo.
give him advice? For me to give him some advice or you?
mind y'all damn business. Don't worry. Every week y'all be on my ass about shit. Y'all ain't like the glass I was drinking out of one time. Y'all always find something to pick on.
I didn't even see the toothpick.
They've been
That's
on
your,
about the
that's your
toothpick.
thing? Oh, I see it now. What's up with the toothpick, Mo?
Wow, so just try anyway, I don't know. But listen,
What's up?
I got a question. So
Yeah.
in that energy when she told you,
Hold on. Can you hear? Can you hear us, Shareese?
Yeah.
Okay.
because people were telling me prior, they was like, it's Zadia's attitude, this attitude. Christal told me, a few other people told me that seen her on her show. So
Mm-hmm.
was that the energy consistent throughout the house, or did you guys ever, or was it just in and out? Or was it just she's consistently like this? Her
It
tone,
was
her mood.
I think it was in and out because there were times where we were able to talk like about makeup, but I think that she's a very competitive person. And I'm opposite of that. I'm more of, because I grew up with brothers and sisters. I think people who have brothers and sisters are competitive naturally because they have
Mhm.
to compete for things. And I think that she has sisters, and that's been the dynamic. She's in sororities and things like that. So I think she's a very competitive person. So it's hard for me to really relate to somebody like her. So I think it was times where we could relate. And I feel like also she doesn't value what I say or my opinion or my advice. And for me, that means you're using your ego. Your ego is so, and you're just so full of your fucking self that everything I say, you take offense to it, or you don't want to take my advice. If I say green, she says purple, because, it was a lot of things that I wish that we could have bonded on, that maybe she could have learned something from me, but I just don't think she's willing to receive that from anybody because She knows every damn thing, and that's just her personality.
But she's younger than you, right? So I think
She is, but see, when I was younger, I listened to older people, or at least tried to, instead of feeling like, can't tell me nothing.
yeah.
I'm not trying to I'm not coming from a malicious place.
Yeah.
It was kind of like making me feel like I was old and washed up. Baby, you just don't know. Like, sis is not old and washed up. It was
Yeah.
so much. She did the whole, I was considered, she treated me like how, which I think is extremely sad. I don't like it at all. Like, being a light-skinned Black woman is hard. Growing up, you get bullied. You're not Black enough for your Black friends. You're not white enough for your white friends. Black people think that light-skinned Black people have certain privileges. And I understand that. She feels like I don't acknowledge that. I said, because it affects me too. You think you being a brown-skinned girl, it affects me too. I'm still your sister.
Yeah.
But you don't want to you can't relate to me. She sat there and told me that everything I have is because I'm light skinned, and everything I have. And I'm like, everything I have is because I've worked hard for it.
Yeah. She told you this during
Yeah.
Wow.
There were so many things. And I'm like, she just does not like me. Like, I'm just not the right shade for her. And she can't relate to me. Everything was, oh, I've been to Miami and, I can't get in. They don't like Black girls. You think I don't know that, but you think I wouldn't ride for you? You think that you come to Miami, I'm not going to get your Black ass in the club? Yes. Like, but she was making it seem like I wasn't aware of this. And I am. I just don't live my life like that. Like, I'm an esthetician, right?
It's not your fault, but I will.
It's rude.
It's sad.
It's rude to keep the light-skinned girl, and
it's unfortunate, Shareese, because I worked with Bill Duke. I did PR for Bill Duke's Dark Girl documentary, right? And there is a lot of pain in our community on both sides, and unfortunately, a lot of times we take that pain out on a person that may represent something that is painful for us. So I don't think that her issue is with you personally. I think it may be with that pain that she's gone through. Obviously, so he did Dark Girl, and then he did one for lighter skinned girls, because there is pain on both sides. And both sides, I was born to a mother that's very fair skinned, and people would say, why don't you look like your mom? Because I had really long hair. It was Black girl hair. She got hair that's very different. But I remember feeling they would make me feel bad about that. But then my mother would tell me how a lot of people would pick on her when she grew up because her hair was down to her behind. This girl's cut her hair one time. There's just pain in our community on both sides. And it's unfortunate when we direct that pain to people. And even my husband, who has abandoned us, obviously, but he's biracial, and he said he would hear that he was not Black enough, get picked on for being biracial, light, bright, almost white, or then of course,
oh God, that was me, light, bright, almost white.
Yeah. So, and you're Afro-Latina, so that's even a different. There's a lot there, but I hate that. But I will say this about Ready to Love: colorism comes up on every season, every time, and I think it's because it's still a very big issue. It's an undercurrent that we still have. And I think,
but I just wish that we would work together, like, because I feel that pain too. Like, I'm not denying it. I don't like it when I see what darker skinned women go through. I'm not that type of person. I've been an esthetician for 20 years. Like, skin is.
Wow, man, that's deep. It just got deep all of a sudden. It just turned deep. Right? It's just,
for the record, I love all Black women, light, brown, dark. I don't care. I just love Black women.
We appreciate that, Mo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for offering those words of benevolence and acceptance to the.
I'm not color struck. That's all.
No, that's real. That's a lot of men are. This has been, I think, one of the best conversations with Shareese. I think we get a chance to see her personality in a much different way than we get to see it.
Everybody now I might need to see their Instagram page before I do anything, because everybody's so different.
Yeah.
Is it the cameras? Is it the shooting of?
I think it's the editing, and I'm not saying the editing is the problem, but I do think that, you know, when you put people in high stress positions, you get a defensive, you know, you get what they're trying to put out to protect themselves, you know?
Because
So
she's softer on here, like she
very
just.
much so, very much so. But that kept telling you. That's why y'all be giving me a hard time. Shareese is my girl. I mess with Shareese because I feel like I do feel like she has been defensive, especially when she was
Yeah.
first to love. But I think every woman who is past 30 has been through hurt and has learned how to protect her heart. And especially if you put your energy into your business, it creates that energy. And I get it. I relate to her a lot. Case the colorism is a mess. It is. It's just unfortunate, y'all. But I think until the more we hear things like that, we just have to realize that it's a reality. It's not fake. We have been on here almost 2 hours, which I was not planning because it is a school night, but a work night rather. But I appreciate you guys for hanging out. I think Shareese's phone disconnected, but we're going to get ready to get off here. I want to remind you, if you're in Atlanta, it's not too late. It's not too late to meet us at ATL. You can go to my Instagram page. You can go to Moe's Instagram page. You'll see the flyer. It's just, you can come hang out. Make sure that you bring a wrapped gift to give back to a kid for the holidays. And it's free to get in. Bernicia, Zadia, and Ashley will be there, along with Alexis So Fly and Liz will be there also. So make sure that you guys come. Shareese, I know we got you out late. We weren't planning to be. We're never usually on this long. But no, people were just saying is we really appreciated you being so candid and so so much fun tonight and just so honest about everything. I mess with you. You know that I really feel like I connect with you. I can understand a lot of things that I feel like you represent and you've been through. I definitely can relate to it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the end of this. We have to have you come back on here once this is all over, and hopefully we'll get a chance to have you here in Atlanta, or if I come to Miami, I need to come get my face done. Okay.
Yes, come. We gotta.
I would definitely be booking an appointment the next time I'm in Miami. Mo likes to get facials as well, so
Hey, they ain't need to know all that. That's they don't need to know that.
She just know I'm the best. She trying to hook you up.
I get them from you. I get one from you if I go down there.
Bet you better.
I will bring him. We should go. We should plan a trip to Miami.
So you in Atlanta?
We're in Atlanta. Yeah.
Yes, we're both in Atlanta.
Okay, I gotta come to Atlanta. I gotta come when it's warm, though. I'm telling y'all, I don't do the cold.
We should do something. We'll plan something. Maybe in the springtime. We're going to do another event. I know we were planning to do another one, but we're excited about tomorrow night.
You guys are gonna have so much fun. Oh my God. Have a drink with my girls for me, Bernicia and Ashley. You're gonna miss the twerking. Girl, them girls can twerk.
I believe it. We got Liz, who came and was Bernicia's friend.
Liz is so such a sweetheart. She really is. I was so happy to meet her in person.
Yeah, she's beautiful and she's a sweetheart.
Is Shay gonna come? See y'all?
Shay is coming. Shay is, Shay is like my best friend. So that's
Shay.
Yeah, Shay is with me all the time. So she's on the panel. And so we have Alexis, Liz, Shay, and then we have Alexis from Put a Ring on It also, who is going to come out. It's going to be a good night. So we're going to do that tomorrow night. You guys can watch live. We're going to have Shareese back along with the other ladies after the show, after we see the reunion. We got to have you guys come back. And then, of course, Mo and I will be back Friday to do the recap. Mo, you have any last minute questions for Shareese before we get out of here?
Shareese, I have a confession.
What's up?
Damn it, man. I'm not going to lie. I thought you were, how do I say this? I was just telling Christal when you got disconnected that I thought you were a little more rougher around the edges, and I have to take that back. You're actually It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Actually, I thought you were going to tell Christal to take me off of here.
But what?
Because Christal seemed to think that I said so not necessarily nice things. I just thought throughout the show, it just seemed like you were ready.
It didn't seem like I was ready.
I seemed like you were ready.
Okay, and
So I'm just confessing that.
why do you feel like I wasn't ready?
It just felt
Maybe this is something I need to take heed to. I love to hear this feedback.
it came off to me for my first time because I didn't see the Ready for Love season, but on here, it just seemed very guarded.
Okay.
But hearing you talk like you were saying with your father and the security, and it kind of like made me open up and think of some things, and just feeling your energy through here. I haven't felt it in person, but just here, it was way more softer than I thought it was, and
Thank you.
I'm just putting that out there.
Well, you know something about me, Christal will tell you. The girl is a little guarded, but I have definitely let my guards down a lot, right, Christal? And it takes me a minute to feel safe enough to so it may come across like that at first. And I think these dates are so quick that you really don't get to see a whole lot of interaction, or you don't get to see me. It looks like because it kind of is. It's kind of like work and dating. So you do kind of get serious, I guess.
Yeah.
That's something I have to remember though. But I think this time definitely I wanted to be a lot more open.
Okay. But
I told him, I said, I feel like, and I say this when you were just off. I feel like the reason I really could relate to you is because any woman to me past age 30, 35, you've been hurt and you've learned how to not be hurt again. And especially being an entrepreneur, I've had my own business since I was 28 years old, and I've just focused on business. And so you learn how to put a guard around yourself, not just for your heart, but also to keep your business. I couldn't afford to be heartbroken after the pool.
Exactly. I have to have my peace.
Yeah.
So true. It's so true.
I feel she champions for you though. Christal really champions for you off camera. So
I love that because, she understands, and I'm just a normal person going through life, trying to do the best I can. And I'm real. I'm never going to stop believing in love, but I'm not going to fake it either because.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. And you deserve everything you're asking.
That's what I want to give.
You deserve everything you're asking for. I think that, and I told you the last time, I tell everybody on this channel, the only reason I do this is really because even with Mo, he knows I'm always trying to hook him up on dates. I probably won't do that anymore because I hooked him up on 2 dates and he did not like the girls. But they were sweet girls.
They were. Just not for me.
I just want everybody to have love, and I believe it's out there for everybody, my guy friends and my girlfriends. And I feel like because life is hard to go through alone, and so many things. I can say this, I know when I was working, my business was successful, but there are so many things that I did not get a chance to do because I was so focused on business and promoting myself, that now that I've been in a relationship that's amazing for 4 years, I just have a chance to really enjoy Christal in a way that I didn't before. And I want that for everybody, even the women listening to this channel, even Mo. I know he has a great life, but I know his life would be so much better with an amazing woman to, rub his head at night when he comes home.
Absolutely. Yeah. Make sure his glass is not foggy.
Or the toothpick is
fresh toothpick.
Fresh toothpick,
You know what you need, Mo. You know what you need. We got you.
Somebody said a recycled toothpick is wild, Mo. You've been on that toothpick.
First of all, I got plenty. Listen.
No, I love that about you, Christal. Thank you.
I love you too. I love that. And I really, really can't wait to see this end. And I told you,
give me hope.
It's there. It's there for everybody. It is. We just have to believe and get out of our own way. And I also tell women when they're like, oh, I'm like, I was in my own way. It was me. Yeah. It was me. Mo can tell you.
Yes. And that was absolutely. And that's a good thing. And that's how I knew I was ready, because I took the focus on myself. Yeah. So I see where I'm getting in my own way. It's me. I have to take accountability. And I think that just changes everything.
Yeah. I agree. Well, we're
You
not going to keep you on to this anymore. I appreciate you sending love your way. Shareese,
Thank you guys
great
so
to have you back. And yes, and you have to
Mom.
yes, you have to come to Atlanta soon, or I'll drag Mo to Miami and we'll come get facials. And
Okay, that'll be cool.
Adrian,
I don't.
too. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right, so that was a great interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Remember, if you're in Atlanta, we want to see you. Come hang out with us tomorrow. It's going to be so much fun. For those of you at home, tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and we're going to be right here. We're going to be right here. You guys are going to be able to watch the live stream of our Under the Mistletoe soiree. Hopefully, we can make some matches. I done invited some single guys out. We got the beautiful ladies coming, and it's going to be a great time. I love you guys for watching. Please make sure before you leave this, you like it on the way out, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. You can watch the live stream, and of course, hang out with us on Friday for the recap. The ATL event is at ATL, which is AYE. Go to my Instagram if you want to see that the ATL. Mo, what's going on?
My bad.
Yeah, I'm just telling everybody good night and to come out tomorrow. You got your outfit picked out. You got it laid out for tomorrow, Mo.
Hey, you might let me tell you something. You know me well.
Trust me, ladies. I'll put some pictures up. I'll definitely put the pictures up. And single men in Atlanta. Yeah, there are some good single men. I got my honey here in Atlanta, but we got to get out of here. It's been 2 hours on live. I got to get in there and go snuggle up with my husband. And Mo, do your thing.
I most certainly will.
You came after everything was over.
Good night, y'all.
Talking about colorism and everything.
Mo.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. We're still on live.
Mo, what's up with that toothpick, bro?
Yo, man.
Oh, Adrian, he's giving you a hard time. Good night, y'all. We love you for watching. See you tomorrow, Mo.
All right.